Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode in my ExpressJS tutorial series. Now this video is going to be fairly simple. We will be focusing mainly on installing Node.js, similarly to the first episode in my Node JavaScript Intro to Node.js series, but I don't want you to have to switch videos to go over this, so I'm just going to go over the installation in this video. What we will be doing is we will be installing VS Code, which is the code editor where we write our programs right here. It's on the left side of the screen. We will be installing something called WSL only for Windows. That way you can use a terminal, and Homebrew, which is a package manager only for Mac users. And then we will install Node.js, which is our main tool that we can use to create our web server, and we will be writing a simple hello world. So to get started, what we will do is we will begin by installing VS Code. So to install VS Code, what you want to do is come to Google here and search VS Code, and it should be the first link here that says code.visualstudio.com. You just click the download tab, and once you're here, you can just click on your operating system of choice and install your install the editor. Now, of course, I already have it installed, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel. But you would run this, and once you have it finished and you open it, it will look something like this. Let me just close everything. That way you can see. It should look something like this. Now, when you're here, what you will want to do next is, if you are on Windows, you're going to install WSL and install the VS Code WSL extension. So if you are not on Windows, I recommend you skip to the Homebrew installation if you're on Mac, or just skip to the Node.js installation if you are on Linux. So for those of you who are on Windows, you want to open up another Google tab and search WSL Install, and then you want to click on here. Now, this is the docs.microsoft.com, and because Windows Subsystem for Linux is Microsoft, it's Windows, so they have an official tutorial. You can just come here, and there's a bunch of steps, step 1, step 2, and basically they say open PowerShell as administrator, and what you can do is, if you have PowerShell, you run it, you right-click and hit Run as Administrator. Or if you happen to be using Windows, or like if you don't happen to have it here, you can just click on this Windows button in the bottom left of your screen and search PowerShell, right-click, and then hit Run as Administrator. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to basically copy and paste in these commands and run them. I'm not going to run them because I already have, but you just go down these steps. Step 2, that's just a check. Step 3, again, you copy and paste this command, and then you hit Enter. And then step 4, you want to download the correct Linux kernel package. So you click on this and install it. It'll take you to a download page, it'll put this installer here, and then you run that. And then once you're done with that, again, you just run this command here. You just run this command here, again, right here. And then finally, you want to go to your Windows Store, which if you click on this Windows button here and you search up Microsoft Store, it'll take you to something that looks like this, and just search Ubuntu. We will be using Ubuntu. So if I click on, for example, 1804 or 2004, I'm using 2004. So if you click on this link here, it'll take you to the Microsoft Store, and if you hit Get on a Windows computer, it will pull up your Microsoft Store to the Ubuntu page. And we'll just let this load for a sec. And then once it is finished loading, all you need to do is click on the green or click on the install button right here. And it says launch for me because it is already installed. So once you have all of that set up, you can go ahead and move on to the next steps. Now, after this, you may be required to restart your computer. If so, just go ahead and restart and come back to the tutorial at this point. Now, once you have WSL installed and you are still, again on Windows, you're going to need to install what's called a VS Code extension to work with WSL. So here in your VS Code window, which you installed previously, you open it up and you click on this little icon here on the left with the 3 squares and the one sticking out. Now, in order to install WSL, you just search up WSL, and it should be the first result, remote-WSL, made by Microsoft. Now, this is just an extension that lets us work with WSL, which all that is it is a Linux terminal in Windows. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but Linux is basically a different operating system. It's not Windows, but it is used, or at least the terminal is used by almost all programmers So in order to get this terminal on Windows, you can install WSL, and that gives you the Linux terminal on a Windows computer, which doesn't require you to get a Linux computer. So once you're on VS Code, install this, and there will be a green install button like this, except it'll be on this extension here. And once you have that done, you are all set to go. Now, once you are on, or actually, I'll explain how to open up the terminal later when we're installing NodeJS, but for now, we are now going to cover the Brew installation for Mac computers only. If you are not a Mac user, I recommend you skip to the next section, installing Node.js. So if you are on Mac, you can go ahead and search Brew into Google and click on brew.sh here. Now, it gives you a command, and there's a little copy button. If you click on that, it'll copy, or you can just manually copy. And all you need to do is paste this into a Mac OS terminal. And what that means is if you are on Mac, there should be a little icon. So if you come to your dock here on the bottom of your screen, there should be a little icon with a rocket, with a gray rocket. You want to click on that. That's called the Launchpad. And you want to search terminal, Terminal. And then you click on that. The terminal is like the Linux terminal, except Mac has a built-in Linux terminal, whereas Windows does not. So if you click on the terminal key, and then you basically copy and paste this text into it and hit enter, it will run some installation steps, and then you will have Brew installed on your Mac. Now, that's pretty much it. Now, now we're going to install Node.js. So if you happen to be on Windows and you installed WSL, now that you are on VS Code here, you want to click Open Folder, and then open up your folder for your code. So you click Open Folder and open up the folder for your code. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit View Command Palette or Control-Shift-P, and then I'm going to say Open WSL. So open folder in WSL, or like that. And then I'm going to just come here and, or actually I'm going to go to YouTube. So I have YouTube here. So you want to open your folder in WSL, and like this. So I'm selecting Matthew Lin YT, which is my personal folder where I hold my code. And once you have that all open, you should be set. Now it says you're currently using WSL2, ... It says that as a reminder if you're on Windows, and I just close that. So I'm going to go ahead and now open up my actual code that I plan to write. And to actually open a terminal using WSL, you want to hit View and then hit Terminal. And then it should automatically at this point open to a WSL terminal, which should be good. Once you have this, then you are all set. And you'll know that it's working by typing, if you type clear, for example, it'll clear your terminal, and then after a second, it'll come back like that. So once you are here, this is basically the same steps apply for Mac or Linux at this point forward. Now, to actually install Node.js, if you are on Windows using WSL, or if you are on Linux, you will just search on Google NodeJS install. And if we come here to nodejs.org, so basically you want to either copy the Mac OS, or not installer, my bad, Node.js install Brew. So if you happen to be on Mac, then you will want to use this command here. So just search install Node.js using Homebrew, and it's basically, this is the install. You want to type brew install node. Now typing this, if you paste brew install node and you are on a Mac computer that has installed Brew, then this will install Node.js for you. If you are not, install Node on Linux. You want to search up installing Node via Package Manager here, and you want to select Ubuntu, which Debian and Ubuntu based. So you come here, and basically, let me see. Apt. Okay, I guess there's no apt. So let me just. So yeah, you come here down to where it says Ubuntu and click on this Node.js binary distributions. And then you search through here. Okay, perfect. So if you want to install, for example, Node.js version 15.x, all you need to do is you need to copy and paste these commands right here. So if you happen to be using an Ubuntu Linux device, or if you are on WSL running Ubuntu, you can copy and paste in these commands here, which will basically install Node.js for you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste these commands here. And it's not working for some reason. I think my terminal is a little messed up right now. I'm going to try to I'm going to reload my window. So I'm going to go View and then Command Palette Reload. And that should fix up my window here. And then I'm going to hit View Terminal again, and this should open up my terminal. And I'm going to, again, paste in this command here, which oddly enough, it's not working. So I'm going to right-click. Right-clicking also does that, and I'm going to run this. And it'll say sudo password. You can just type in your password at that point and then hit enter. And then you want to run this command here. This command that we copied from here. And once you have that already, either whether you're on Mac or you're on Linux, you should have Node installed on your computer. So once you have Node installed on your computer, again, you want to open up your Visual Studio terminal, and if you don't have that, you can go ahead and type View or click on the View and then hit Terminal here, and it'll pull this up. And then let's just go over some basic terminal usage. So as you can see here, it shows the folder directory that you're in: Mount, C, Users, Matthew, Desktop, YouTube, Matthew Lin, YT for me. It may be different for you based on what folder you chose. But basically, to know that Node is working, if you type in node space -v, and then it gives you a little version, then that means you've installed Node correctly. Now, for this video, actually, I'm not going to go over too much of the terminal. Just type in node, and then it'll say welcome to Node.js. And if you type console.log hello world, as if you're writing a standard JS like this, and if it prints hello world, then we know we are good. We have installed Node correctly, and we can move on to the next episode. So in the next episode, all I'm going to be doing is going over some basic terminal usage, and then we will be creating a hello world for ExpressJS specifically. So if you want to see that, I recommend you check out the playlist, which is linked in the description, where I'll be uploading daily, or uploading every 2 days now. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.